One man, one mission, to rid the world of chronic anxiety once and for all. The Anxiety Guy, Dennis Simsek, shares his personal transformation from living a life filled with overwhelming worry to becoming a full-fledged positivity machine, a leading authority in generalized anxiety. Dennis gets to the truth of your mental health challenges and sets you on a path to transforming each and every area of your life. Here he is, the one and only, the Anxiety Guy.
Warriors, here we are together in episode number 100 of the Anxiety Guy podcast, a awesome milestone that I'm so proud of, and I'm proud of you. And you know what? I just want to say thank you at the top of this show. Thank you so much for allowing me to help you. Thank you so much for allowing me to share my wisdom, my understanding, my knowledge with you guys, and to be able to take you to the next level, to be able to help and give you the life that you deserve and the life that you crave so, so much. You know, that light at the end of the tunnel is dim for many, many people. But through the understandings and the skill sets and the proper mindset through this podcast, we're making that light grow more and more and more. And today we're diving deep into the top 5 ways to turbocharge your anxiety recovery. How? By helping someone else. Now, this podcast episode doesn't have to mean you have anxiety. Even if you don't suffer from anxiety or the components around it, guess what? This episode is still for you, because if you know a stranger, a family member, a friend who's suffering right now, who's struggling, I'm going to reveal a couple of very key principles and components that you can begin to use to help that person. And I'm not talking about coping, managing it for the rest of your life. I'm actually talking about overcoming the cycle. So, what does this contribution do? This is important. Why do we want to contribute? Why do we want to help somebody else? Because it does a few very important things. Number one, it releases hormones such as oxytocin, serotonin, and dopamine, which makes you feel really good when you help someone else. And it speeds up your own transition towards a new identity. That's what these hormones do. And the more we flush ourselves with them, the quicker the change becomes. Number 2, why do we want to help somebody else? It's because it will reveal to you new ways of perceiving your own challenges. You're going, my God, I never saw things from that perspective before, all by helping someone else. You get that hunch, you get that feeling, you get that direction, and you go, wow, that's new. And that whole that's new is something that's fantastic for you. Number 3, it will also reveal the blocks to you that you still may have that need cleaning out. So there may be some blocks within you. You know, a lot of people come to me and say, Dennis, I know anxiety inside and outside. I got great skill sets. I got the right mindset. But there's something unconsciously holding me back. Something from my past. Something I'm missing. Well, guess what? By helping somebody else, you're going to reveal that missing piece of information. And therefore, you're going to tackle it. You're going to find it. You're going to reveal it. And you're going to heal it. That's our goal. So, what are the 5 most important components to helping somebody else that's suffering from anxiety? Number 1, storytelling. Now, if you know somebody that's suffering from anxiety, tell them stories of people you know from the past or your own personal stories of success. Metaphors and signals are what the brain understands. So you could be explaining something to someone, hey, you should do this skill set, or just think about it like this, or hey, you got to learn to relax, and they're going to go, you know what? Don't even bother speaking because I have no idea what you're talking about. But all of a sudden you say, there was this time way back when I was 15, and you know what? I suffered the same thing that you did. And here's what I did. I took steps to do this and then that, and then my perspective shifted, and then I was starting to respond to Tracy or Tom or Bill in a whole nother way, and so forth. Storytelling, step by step. When you tell someone a success story, and it could be the same story again and again. He may love stories. I loved stories when I was a kid. I don't know about you, but storytelling embraces a deeper sense of understanding in the person that's suffering from anxiety. So find the stories that will help the sufferer. Find those stories. Write them all down, right? Have them next to you in your arsenal when you begin to confront that person. Number 2, help them understand that self-love equals acceptance of who you are today as a whole. Now, self-love is the most important component, my friends. You have to get someone to basically love themselves so much that they begin to see that their strengths and their weaknesses are a part of everyday life. You have those weaknesses because you have an opportunity for growth, contribution. You have a chance to develop yourself personally, professionally. It doesn't matter. That's what weaknesses are. So we have to begin to love ourselves, which means to accept ourselves as a whole. Your past doesn't equal your future. Your past is feedback. Your past is helping you learn the lessons from that past so you can move forward. So I urge you to begin helping that person understand that self-love is so crucial, because when you begin to love yourself, you begin to release those hormones. You begin to release serotonin, and that feel-good hormone is what we need to see the light. Give them a hug. Tell them they can love themselves. Tell them to accept themselves as a whole, as a human being, not a human doer. You're not a human doer, you're a human being. Number 3, interrupt their pattern. This is something that I have a lot of fun with in my one-on-ones and people going through the program today. I interrupt their pattern so many times that they come to me and go, Dennis, you know that whole anxiety thing? Yeah, it's tougher to go there now, or it's almost impossible. And when you're side to side with that person, you're going for a walk or you're having breakfast or dinner or whatever it is, a dirty joke, throw something at them. You know, throw a piece of food at them when they begin talking about their anxiety. Tell them a dirty joke. Ask them why the moon is made out of green cheese. They're going to go, what the heck are you talking about? And then later on, you're going to go, oh, no, sorry about that. Why don't you tell me a bit more about your struggle right now? And they're going to have a lot of difficulty going back there. Remember when you were a kid and you had a family member that constantly broke your pattern by shoving you around or playing with your hair or throwing something at you, and then you forgot about what you were thinking about moments before? That's exactly what I'm talking about. So interrupt their pattern, even though they may feel confused or frustrated from it, and you're going to find that they no longer partake in that anxious conditioning, those thoughts or those behaviors. Number 4, keep fixing their posture constantly, nonstop. Your physiology affects your psychology. So when you can begin to push somebody's shoulders back, push their chin back, get them to a physiological place where they can begin to tap into those moments back in the day when they felt so proud of themselves, that feeling of accomplishment, that feeling of dopamine surging through their entire brain and going, you know what, I'm so motivated right now, I'm so driven. You can tap back into that simply by fixing your physiology, your posture, every single time you feel it drooping. You'll notice that a lot of people that I work with actually on a daily basis, they talk about how they feel depressed. And the first thing I ask them is, what do you do for a living? And a lot of them will say, well, you know, I'm in front of a computer all day. Well, when you're in front of that computer all day without fixing your physiology, what sort of posture do you have? Well, you know, I'm drooped over, my shoulders are forward, my chin's forward. Yeah, there you go. So it's so crucial, and it's something that as a child we never learned. We never learned to fix our posture. Right now in this moment, as you're listening to this, why don't you push your shoulders back, push your chin back for a minimum of 2 minutes and notice how you deal with fear, fearful thoughts. Notice how when a memory comes up that is uncomfortable and debilitating, notice how you handle it now when you have this empowered look to you. It's completely different. You begin tapping into parts of you that feel more empowered, like you can take on anything. So, number 4, when you're helping somebody else, is keep fixing their posture. As soon as you feel them drooping, fix it. And say, you know what? You got to hold this for 2 minutes. And then 30 minutes will go by, fix their posture. And they're going to go, stop doing that. And you're going to go, no. You want change, don't you? And they're going to go, yeah, I do. And they're going to go, okay, I understand where you're coming from. So consistently fix their posture. Number 5, help them to change their environment, their clothes, etc. So the unconscious gets the message. One of the best things I ever did was, when I was looking at myself, I was going, look at those shorts. I've been wearing them all the time. Those shoes, I hate the color. Oh, look at that shirt. Oh my God, it just stinks. And the clothes on my back, the shoes, the poster on the wall, the paint on the wall, the TV, the dog, everything reminded me of anxiety, depression, whatever it was. As soon as I began to replace those things, you don't have to replace the dog, but everything else. As soon as you begin to replace those things, you begin to feel this empowered feeling like you're in a transition now. That new shirt, I always wanted to wear that, but I was so scared of people's judgments. Now I'm gonna wear the color red because it reminds me of transition. It reminds me of warrior. It doesn't remind me of victim anymore. It reminds me of warrior. Fantastic. That old painting, that old sailboat that's on your wall? Get rid of it. Put something else in its place, something with some encouraging colors, a message that you get deep down in your nervous system and goes, that's empowering. That's nice. And then all of a sudden, when you're going about your day, your unconscious mind is going to go, hey, what's he wearing? What is with that new wristband that he bought, or that new headband, or that new hat he has? What's up with that? There must be something going on here. Let's investigate what he wants more of. And what you want more of is a transition. You want empowerment. You want to feel like your old identity is coming back, but better. So anything that reminds you of vanilla, blandness, not you as well, but also the person that you're trying to help, ask them to change it. Go shopping with them. Grab something different. Get them to begin tapping into that part of them that says, you know what, there's a change happening here. This is very important. When you change your environment and all those things that make you feel bland, a whole new you starts to appear, my friends. So, these 5 are really important. I'm going to go over them one more time just so you guys get a clear understanding of how to help someone, okay, but also how to help yourself. First one, storytelling. Find the stories, the success stories that can help someone and get into great detail. Become a great storyteller around those people. Number 2, help them to understand that self-love equals acceptance. Accept your strengths, accept your weaknesses, my friend, because that's a part of life. Accept who you are. Have that love and gentleness for yourself because that's a huge component. Number 3, interrupt the pattern. Dirty joke. Throw a piece of food at them. Ask them why the moon is made out of green cheese. Why do pigs fly west only in the winter? They'll start thinking about it. They'll go, are you crazy? And all of a sudden, no, sorry about that. I just had something there. Go back to the anxious thing. They're going to go, okay, that's more difficult. So interrupt their pattern. Number 4, keep fixing their posture nonstop. Fix it. Tell them to hold it for 2 minutes and then watch how their days go. Number 5, help them to change certain aspects of their environment, clothes, anything that reminds them of blandness, vanilla, no more. That person, and along with yourself, is transitioning from being a victim to a warrior. What's a warrior? A warrior isn't someone that gets up every single day and says, today's the day I conquer my anxiety. No. A warrior is an understanding person. They understand what anxiety is. They understand the misinterpretations that the brain makes that causes these symptoms of anxiety. They understand that when they do things unconsciously, it begins to create a rush of these neurotransmitters that make you feel temporarily good. And you know what? We're not searching for temporary pleasure. What we're searching for is long-term pleasure, fulfillment. So I want you to understand that a warrior as a whole has a strategy. A warrior takes care of their habits on a daily basis. A warrior understands that when an emotion arises, that they can either run with that emotion or go a different direction. They can see past those emotions and those impulses. And then finally, a warrior takes care of their body, their physiology. When you can begin to live the warrior lifestyle, my friends, you're going to live a life that is so beautiful. And I'm really looking forward to another 100 podcast episodes. I would absolutely, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate it if you guys gave this podcast a positive rate and review on iTunes. And you know what? I'm looking forward to the next 100. I really am. Can't wait. Love you guys. Remember, you and that person that you're helping are more than anxiety. Love you.
Thanks for being an important part of the Anxiety Guy podcast community. If you enjoyed this podcast, please leave a positive rate and review. If you're searching for further support on your road to recovery from anxiety, head over to anxietyexit.com and take part in the powerful End the Anxiety program based around the CBT model. If you're searching for a more one-on-one approach, you can sign up now for personal coaching sessions with Dennis via Skype. Remember, you are more than anxiety. See you in the next episode.